Captain America raised his shield, then shattered it with one strike, not for surrender, but to show he would never fight for them again. And when the Avengers came to stop him, Superman stood at his side, because Earth's mightiest were no longer Earth's rightest. The shield didn't fall. It cracked. A sound no one had ever heard before, vibranium giving way, not to a weapon, not to an enemy, but to the man who had carried it into every war, against every threat, for every soul that called Earth home. Captain America stared down at the split star. Jagged metal curled from the center like a wound. He didn't flinch. Around him, the Avengers stood frozen, as if the silence could reverse what just happened. Iron Man took a step forward, arc reactor pulsing. "What the hell did you just do, Steve?" Steve Rogers turned his eyes to Tony, slow and steady. "I'm done fighting for something that's already lost." Black Widow's voice was a whisper. "That shield, that was everything." "It was a lie," Steve said, his voice steady, brutal. "It stood for something once, but now it's a badge on a cover-up." The air turned electric. Thor's grip tightened around Mjolnir. "You accuse us of betrayal, yet say nothing of your allegiance to the alien." "Don't call him that," Steve snapped. "He has a name. Superman." A chill passed through the room. Tony's mask snapped shut. "You're with him?" Steve didn't answer. He didn't need to. He walked away, the broken shield half still in his fists, one dripping blood from his knuckles. Behind him, the Avengers watched the man they once followed become something none of them could understand. By the time he reached the rooftop, Superman was already there, hovering, cape waving like a battle flag. The moment Steve landed, Clark could see it in his eyes. "They won't listen." "They won't," Steve agreed, tossing one half of the shield to the ground. "But they will come for us. All of them." Superman's jaw tightened. "Then we show them the truth." Steve looked out over the city. "We show them what happens when heroes forget who they serve." He had seen too much. On the last mission, classified unauthorized, he'd followed Iron Man's coordinates to what was labeled a weapon site. What he found instead were bodies. Families. Non-human. Peaceful. Their bodies charred by repulsor blasts. A colony destroyed under orders. No trial. No threat. No defense. The cover-up went all the way to the top. Fury knew. Stark knew. Even Thor had signed off. Superman had arrived days later, tracking a distress beacon. Too late. Only remnants remained. He found Cap there, kneeling in silence. No blame. Just grief. That's where it began. Now, Cap stood with the one man who had nothing to prove, and everything to protect. The line had been drawn, not between human and alien, but between the powerful and the just. They didn't wait long. By nightfall, Falcon sent word. S.H.I.E.L.D. had marked them both as compromised. Wakanda was silent. Stark Tower went dark. Hulk vanished. Natasha left no message. No farewell. The Avengers were no longer a team. They were a system, and that system was preparing to remove its virus. Cap and Superman moved underground, not to hide, but to build. Not weapons, not a counterforce, but evidence. Superman moved across continents in minutes, collecting footage, data, black site reports buried so deep even Batman hadn't seen them. Cap contacted old allies, spies, outcasts, even mutants, those who knew what it meant to be hunted for choosing the right side too soon. It was Banner who reached out first. He didn't say a word, just sent a single encrypted file. Stark's mission logs, internal memos, and a video. Cap watched in silence. In it, Tony Stark orders a precision strike on a refugee ship in orbit. No confirmation of threat, just a fear of what the refugees might become. Steve's hands balled into fists. Superman floated behind him, still like a statue under pressure. "Are we the villains now?" Cap asked. "No," Superman said. "We're just the ones who stayed human." That night, they broadcasted the first clip to the world. The Avengers PR team responded within minutes. Fabrication, deepfake, enemy disinformation. But it was too late. People were asking questions. Who gave the orders? Why were alien colonies burned with no trial? Why had Superman, an outsider, become the whistleblower Earth needed? The public response fractured the illusion. In a private conference room in the heart of S.H.I.E.L.D., Stark paced like a lion. He's dividing us. He's not even from here. He's telling the truth, Natasha said quietly. Thor slammed his fist on the table. And yet truth is not always justice. No, she replied. But hiding it sure as hell isn't either. Tony turned to Thor. Are you with me? The god didn't respond. Cap watched the reaction unfold from an abandoned safe house. Every screen told a different story, but none could erase what they'd shown the world. Superman hovered near the ceiling, arms crossed. They'll escalate. Let them, Cap said. They built this system. We're just pulling the curtains. He pulled open a crate. Inside, a new shield. Not vibranium, not gifted. Forged by Superman's heat vision and hammered in the Arctic. Transparent, humming with white energy. The symbol of House L carved faintly beneath a faded star. I won't lead a war, Superman said. You won't have to, Cap replied, strapping the shield onto his back. Just stand with me. Superman smiled faintly. Always. The door blew open. A black-clad figure stepped inside. Spider-Man. He looked older. No jokes. Just eyes filled with something between fear and admiration. I saw the footage, Peter said. I didn't believe it. But then, I saw it again, and I couldn't unsee it. You're not here to stop us? Cap asked. Peter shook his head. I'm here to ask what comes next. Cap exchanged a glance with Superman. For the first time in weeks, something like hope flickered in his eyes. Truth, Steve said. Then choice. Outside, the world prepared for battle. Inside, something stronger began. Not a rebellion, a reckoning. The Earth didn't sleep. Every government, every shadow network, every high-level hero council had called emergency meetings. Not because of a supervillain attack, but because two symbols, Captain America and Superman, had gone rogue. And the world couldn't agree if that made them traitors or the last true heroes left standing. In a desert bunker where satellites couldn't see, Superman stood with arms crossed, scanning encrypted frequencies midair. His eyes glowed faintly, tracking S.H.I.E.L.D's latest reroutes. They've grounded all Quinjet access from Asia. Tony locked out Wakandan servers. Furies moved to deep storage. They're not covering up anymore. They're wiping history. Cap paced the floor, jaw clenched. That means they're scared. That means we hit something real. They're not the only ones moving, Superman added. Two speedsters are tracking you. One's Pietro, the other not from our world. Cap stopped. They brought in someone from your side? Looks like it. For the first time, Steve's eyes flickered with concern. Then we're out of time. They moved. Not as soldiers. Not as rebels. As something new. Superman dropped from the sky into a classified ocean base off the Pacific grid. Captive headfirst through its power core using Stark's old access codes. Inside, they found what S.H.I.E.L.D. had promised never to build again. Stark's Phase 5 armory. Suits programmed not to protect, but to enforce. Models built to restrain Hulk. Nullify magic. Pierce Kryptonian cells. It wasn't defense. It was war readiness for their own kind. Tony lied, Steve muttered, smashing the primary core with his new energy shield. Again, Superman turned his eyes to the camera. Not to us, to everyone. They sent out the second broadcast. The world watched as the footage displayed rows of armor stamped with targets, mutants, aliens, and even some of the Avengers themselves. A fail-safe system. Iron Man's personal dictatorship in waiting. Half the population saw betrayal. The other half saw control. And in the middle stood Spider-Man, live streaming from a rooftop, mask off, voice shaking. I followed Iron Man because he was brilliant, because he believed in protecting people. But today, I believe in the people who won't lie to us anymore. I believe in Superman. I believe in Captain America. That video crossed 1 billion views in 6 hours. By the next morning, Clint Barton had vanished. Doctor Strange locked the sanctum. Scott Lang deleted his comms. Thor stood alone on a cliffside, hammer sparking, unsure whether to raise it or bury it. Stark didn't speak. Not in public, not in press. He activated the helicarrier instead. In the skies above Europe, Cap and Superman intercepted it mid-flight. No stealth, no tricks. The clouds split apart as Superman hovered directly in its path, forcing the entire warship to stall midair. "Tony," Cap said through the comms, "don't do this." Iron Man's voice came through sharp. "It's already done." Dozens of drones launched, modified by vibranium cores, powered by arc-light fusion, fast, ruthless, trained on Superman's vitals. He didn't hesitate. He moved like a meteor storm, red-blue lightning in the sky. His fists shattered metal faster than it could learn his movements. Cap dove from the clouds, landed on the helicarrier, and met Rhodey in full war machine armor. "Don't make me do this, Steve," Rhodey warned. "You already did." The two collided like thunder and steel. Steve's new shield bent under Rhodey's cannon, but it didn't break. It absorbed the blast, redirected it, and hurled him backward. Inside the carrier, Friday's voice rang out. "Warning, power overload in containment zone." Cap ran through the halls, disabling turrets, dodging drones, heading for the data core. Superman tore through the last wave of bots midair and landed beside him just as the inner vault unlocked. Inside, Tony. No armor, just a repulsor wristband and regret in his eyes. "You two are forcing a civil war." Cap stepped forward. "No, Tony. You forced this the day you decided the world needed to be controlled instead of trusted." Superman's voice cut like crystal. "And you knew the truth would kill your system, so you buried it." Tony didn't argue. "You think people will follow you? When the next alien invasion comes, when gods fall from the sky and no one's left to stop them." "We're not here to be gods," Superman said. "We're here to stop them from becoming kings." A silent beat passed. Tony raised his hand. Cap didn't flinch. But instead of firing, Stark dropped the repulsor. "You've already won the people." Cap shook his head. "This isn't about winning. It's about remembering who we were before power turned us into machines." They left Stark inside the vault, not as a prisoner, as a man staring into a future he no longer controlled. But as they exited the helicarrier, the real shock came from a message waiting for them. Bruce Banner had gone live. Across every global channel, he appeared, calm, untransformed, speaking to every nation at once. "My name is Dr. Bruce Banner, and I helped build the lie." He exposed everything. The secret votes, the hidden strikes, the predictive threat models where people were sentenced before they acted. His voice shook. "I thought I was helping create peace. I wasn't. I was making cages." Then, without warning, the screen split. Dozens of heroes appeared from all corners of the globe. Young, old, forgotten, feared. Standing in shadow, in alleyways, in schools, in labs. One by one, they stepped forward. "I stand with truth. I stand with Superman. I stand with Captain America." It wasn't a rebellion. It was a refusal. Superman watched it all in silence, the wind brushing his cape. Cap didn't smile. He didn't speak. He just raised the shield, the new one, and held it up toward the sun. This wasn't about war anymore. It was about rewriting the future before it rode over them. And somewhere far in the stars, someone else had started watching. Because when Captain America stands beside Superman, the whole universe pays attention. The air was burning before the first punch landed. Above the Atlantic, a floating battlefield had been assembled, neutral zone, global ceasefire line. But no one obeyed the terms. Not today. Superman landed first, cracking the deck beneath him. His cape curled in the wind. Across from him stood Thor, hammer in hand, storm at his back. The god of thunder's face was unreadable. "You betrayed your world," Thor said, voice low. "Twice now." Superman didn't blink. "Then strike me. Let the world see what your loyalty really protects." Lightning rippled through the sky. Thunder rolled like a war drum. Behind Thor, the Avengers lined up. Iron Man War Machine, Vision, a new Black Panther, silent and still. Natasha nowhere to be seen, Hulk missing, and Captain America stood between them all, not beside Superman, not beside the Avengers. In the center, shield raised, words ready. This ends now. No one moved. Not until a single drone, untagged and off protocol, zipped overhead. It scanned Superman. Target locked. Superman turned his head slightly. Tony, call it back. Stark's voice came through the comm. Wasn't me. The drone fired. Superman caught it midair, crushed it in one hand, and tossed the wreckage into the sea. Thor moved. So did Iron Man. The ceasefire exploded. Vision struck first, phasing through Superman's chest and launching him backward. The impact shattered the deck. Cap leapt, slamming his new shield into Iron Man's chest plate, sending sparks in every direction. Stand down, Cap shouted, but no one listened. This wasn't a battle. It was a purge. War Machine dropped sonic mines to contain Superman, but they did nothing. Superman barreled forward, grabbed the turbines on Tony's back, and launched him into the clouds. Vision tried to catch him. Failed. Thor swung Mjolnir, lightning blazing. It clashed against Superman's heat vision, creating a column of pure energy that split the sky in two. Below, Cap fought three at once. Vibranium claws scraped across his armor. He ducked Black Panther's strike, flipped him, then locked arms with Natasha, who had appeared out of nowhere. She held a blade. It trembled. "You can still walk away," she whispered. "So can you." She slashed. He blocked. She dropped smoke and vanished again. But something was wrong. Superman flew back into the center, breathing heavily. "They're stalling." Cap nodded. "So, who's the real target?" That's when the sky turned red. Dozens of SHIELD orbital cannons came online, activated remotely, aimed not at Superman, not at Cap, but at cities below, civilian centers, media hubs, places where the rebellion had spoken too loud. "This isn't war," Cap said. "It's a reset." Superman rocketed upward instantly, breaking the sound barrier as he climbed into orbit. He hit the first cannon in under 2 seconds, ripped its core out, and hurled it into space. Then the second, then the third. But there were too many. Back on the platform, Cap activated the emergency beacon. "They're targeting civilians. We need airspace override. Get every teleporter, every flyer, now." Spider-Man patched through. "We're already in the sky. Storm's got weather cover. Wiccan's opening portals. Cloak just pulled 30 people off a hospital roof." "Good," Cap said. "Keep going." Thor hovered above the battlefield, watching the cannons fire, then turned to Iron Man. "You did this." Tony didn't respond. "You swore to protect this realm," Thor growled. "And now you endanger it." "I swore to protect peace," Tony snapped. "This is the cost." Thor's eyes glowed. Mjolnir crackled. "Then your cost is mine to collect." He struck Iron Man down with a single hit, sending him crashing into the deck. Vision turned. "You're switching sides?" "I never had one," Thor said. "But this is madness." He raised Mjolnir to the sky and summoned a storm so wide it blanketed half the hemisphere. Rain crashed down in waves. The skies went blind. Superman returned, burning, bruised, but still flying. "I took out the last one." "You missed one," Cap said, pointing. A cannon above New York began to charge. Superman moved. Then something hit him midair, so fast even he couldn't track it. A blur of red and yellow. A strike to his spine. A sonic boom. The Flash. But not Barry. Not Wally. Eobard Thawne. Reverse Flash. "You made a lot of noise, Kryptonian," Thawne whispered as Superman crashed onto the platform. "And someone paid me to quiet it." Cap threw the shield. Clean hit to Thawne's head. But it passed through. Phase shifted. "I'm not here for you, Fossil," Thawne grinned. "I'm here to erase hope." He ran again, dragging Superman across steel, slamming him into walls at Mach 7. Cap ran to help, but Black Panther blocked his path again. "Enough," Steve shouted. "You know this isn't right." But Panther shook his head. "It's not about right anymore. It's about who survives history." Cap fought like he was born for that moment. Clash after clash. Punches landed. Shields flew. The storm roared around them. And then, the sky went silent. Superman rose from the debris, eyes glowing white. He was done holding back. He caught Thor mid-dash, spun him, and threw him straight into the ocean. No words, just resolution. Then he looked to Cap. "I'm done running." Cap nodded. "So am I." The Avengers were scattered. Vision disabled. Panther unconscious. Thor standing beside them now. Natasha vanished again. Iron Man not moving. Then came the voice. Fury, broadcasting through every channel on Earth. "You've made your point," he said. "You've shaken the world. But what comes next will define you forever. You can either lead the broken or become the next enemy." Cap stepped into frame. "I'm not leading anyone." Superman joined him. "We're just standing in the space where truth still matters." Fury said nothing, but something in the silence felt like retreat. Cap looked down at his shield, scratched, glowing, not from war, but from purpose. Superman placed a hand on his shoulder. The world wasn't saved, but it wasn't asleep anymore, and that was a start. The world didn't celebrate. It paused. Every news station split its screen. One side showed the fallout. Decommissioned Avengers facilities, broken towers, Stark drones being buried under sand and silence. The other side showed Superman and Captain America standing still, saying nothing, letting the truth echo longer than any speech could. But the silence didn't last. Within hours, something else woke up. A signal pinged from deep under the earth. Forgotten tech. Buried tech. The failsafe. Cap saw it first. The old SHIELD satellite logs, rebooted. Their blinking red dots weren't weapons. They were doors. And something was coming through. Superman flew into the Arctic at dawn. What he found wasn't ice. It was an open vault, cracked from the inside. Project Prometheus. Tony Stark's final contingency. A prototype hybrid built from Kryptonian DNA, infused with vibranium, powered by a cosmic fragment Bruce once said should never touch atmosphere. And now it was moving, faster than Superman, stronger than Hulk, and designed specifically to finish what Stark never could. Erase rebellion before it could spread. Cap met Superman in Greenland, both staring at a crater that used to be a mountain. Burned into the rock were 3 words: "I remember everything." Superman narrowed his eyes. "It's sentient." Cap didn't hesitate. Then we talked to it. They didn't get the chance. The machine arrived first. No name, no face, just a glimmering outline of a man with Cap's stance and Superman's posture. Its voice echoed through the cold. "You broke the system. Now I am the system." It hit before either of them could answer. Cap's shield shattered again, this time from one punch. Superman caught the second strike, but even his arms buckled. The machine didn't fight with anger. It fought with programming. Every move calculated. Every blow meant to disable, not destroy. Cap rolled to his feet, breath ragged. "We built this thing." Superman's lip bled. "Then we end it." They tried. Together, they brought down a glacier, collapsed an entire ice field, and still it stood. Then it spoke again. "You don't get to change the world. You only bought time." It charged, chest glowing. Superman tackled it skyward, higher and higher, into space. Cap watched the sky flicker as both figures vanished into the atmosphere. And then silence. A minute passed. Then 2. And Superman fell back to Earth like a comet. Alone, barely conscious, crashing into the sea. Cap dove in after him. He pulled Clark from the wreckage, gasping, smoking, barely alive. The machine was gone. Not destroyed. Just gone. Cap dragged Superman to shore, his own hands shaking. "We weren't supposed to survive this." Superman coughed, a faint grin on his face. "Then let's do what we weren't supposed to." Behind them, the skies began to flicker. Not red, not blue, but gold. And from somewhere beyond the atmosphere, something ancient watched Earth take a breath. Because now, Earth had 2 protectors, and one weapon with their blood still inside it. Learning, waiting, and remembering. Superman stood over the ocean, the salt water still steaming off his skin. Captain America stood beside him, bruised, unarmored, no shield left. Just a look in his eyes that said the war wasn't over, but the lies were. The world had changed. The Avengers hadn't fallen, but they had fractured. Some vanished into exile. Others resurfaced, quieter, more careful. Tony disappeared, no message left behind. Natasha sent a single encrypted line. You were right. We all were once. But the weapon, the machine built from Superman's DNA, from Cap's tactics, from Stark's paranoia, hadn't died in space. It had gone dark, and that meant it was learning. Cap knew what came next. Not another war. A test. A generation that would ask what came before and demand something better. They didn't wait for the world to figure it out. They built something new. Not a team, not a tower, not a league, but a line. A line that no system, no hero, no alien, no god could cross without answering for it. Superman built the Watchlight, a global network of transparent satellites powered by sunlight and truth. No weapons, just vision, proof that protecting didn't need to mean ruling. Cap returned to the ground, walking, not flying. He moved city to city, shaking hands, meeting people, rebuilding the idea that power could be human again. Together, they became symbols of a different kind. Not untouchable, accountable, and the people responded. Mutants stepped into daylight. Alien refugees were offered sanctuary by cities that once feared them. Even former villains, like Max Dillon and Wanda Maximoff, reached out, not to fight, but to help fix what broke. But nothing was certain. Not with the weapons still out there. One night, as the sky turned violet with auroras, Superman landed quietly beside Cap at a rooftop in Chicago. Below, children ran in the streets, holding handmade capes and shields. One with a red S, the other with a star. Superman watched them. You think we did enough? Cap exhaled slowly. No. Clark turned to him. But we did different, Steve said. And sometimes that's where enough begins. A beacon lit the clouds. Not an attack, a signal. The machine had reawakened, but not to destroy. It sent a message. 2 words. I understand. Cap read it twice. Superman hovered over the screen, silent. Think it's real? Steve asked. Superman's eyes narrowed. I think it chose not to finish us. That's something. Cap nodded. Then maybe it saw what we're trying to be. For a long time, neither spoke. Above them, the world rotated, not saved, but aware. A world that had seen gods fall, lies shatter, systems collapse. And from it, 2 men emerged, one from ice, one from the stars, to remind everyone watching that power meant nothing without conscience. Captain America never carried his old shield again. Superman never raised his fists unless he had to. But together, they stood where no hero had dared to. Not to be worshipped, not to be followed, but to say, this is the line, and we still remember where it began.